Howdy folks, I'm the Roleplay Gamer and I like to party. Welcome to update video number 2. I really wanted to give you some gameplay over the top of this commentary, but I did say my my laptop rather, likes to overheat. Such as when you stress the CPU during recording and playing a game simultaneously. It doesn't like that. So I can't record Darkest Dungeon, just FYI, because Darkest Dungeon uses 100% of my CPU on this laptop, so there's no room left for OBS to record. So that's kind of a bust. But don't worry, I haven't exhausted my pool of less demanding games. I've got a couple games in my GOG, or good old games, if you will, library that could work. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Thank you so much for all your support and comments on the last update video. It just feels great to see that you've commented at all, let alone how nice you all are and how patient you are. It's great. It makes me feel great. So thank you. Also, sorry if I had a look back at that video, and I kind of sound depressed. I didn't mean for that to come across. I didn't mean for it to come across like that. I was just tired. It's been a rough couple of days. Before today, I've been crawling around on the floor in the dust a lot, just trying to, troubleshoot my computer. So I was tired. That's all that was. Anyway, let's get on to, the actual meat of the issue. Let's get down to brass tacks, what's going on with my computer. So we get a lot of blackouts in my area. If I had to put an average on it, and without exaggerating here, I would say we get a blackout a week. If you average it out over the year. This week we got 3 blackouts, which is it's pretty bad. It gets worse during the summer, which of course it's summer now. I'm not sure why it gets worse during the summer, but that's just the way it is. And on top of the blackouts, we get power surges on a daily basis. No joke, daily basis power surges. So either the light will dim, or it'll get brighter, or it'll flicker, or something like that. Sometimes the computer fans, you'll hear it. It'll slow down and then speed up ridiculously, coinciding with the lights. It's pretty wild. So I've done some research, and apparently that can actually harm electronics, computers included. So a blackout, if your drives are running, so if your hard drives are writing and the power cuts out, suddenly it does damage to the drive. Will it kill it with one blackout? Not necessarily, but it accumulates. So that's one issue. And the recent blackouts over the past week have occurred at night. And what do I do with my computer at night? I render. So talk about writing to the drives, right? So that's kind of awkward. But on top of that, the fact that we get power surges on a daily basis, and my computer is on most of the day, so it's not and you know what? It doesn't even matter. Even if the computer's off, as long as it's plugged in, it's affected by the power surges. And the technician that I've taken the computer to has actually confirmed. He said, we get this a lot. He said just the other week, we got a whole office with power surge damaged computers. So this is really wild. This is blowing my mind. So I've actually put in a claim with the insurance company and the power company, and we'll see how we go. So that's what's led to the computer being at a technician. Normally I wouldn't do that. I'd troubleshoot it myself. I don't know a huge amount, but I know enough about computers, and I know what to research and what to look for specifically, so I can more or less figure out what's going on with it. But yeah, we've taken it to the technician because that's what the insurance company requires. And with any luck, we might get something for that, and I'll be able to either fix my computer or get a whole new one, depending on what's wrong with it. If it's just the power supply, which is a possibility, easy fix. Especially if I get something from the insurance company. If they come to the party and it's just the power supply, done. We'll be up real quick. Because that shouldn't be more than like 150, like $200 max. I can't imagine I would even get a power supply that much. They're fairly, reasonably priced. If I have to replace the computer, that's another story, and we'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But I have been looking at, parts. So in the event that I do have to replace the computer, I'm prepared and I know exactly what I want. I would be going for an upgrade because it only makes sense to do so. Of course, it's all going to depend on funds and whatnot, but like I said, we'll get to that when we get to that. I want to try and move away from Nvidia if I can, because over the past year, their driver issues have been an absolute nightmare. My displays have been crashing just daily, really. Just daily. I've got to be really careful what I have open, and I've got to close a lot of things. As soon as the computer comes on, a lot of Nvidia related things I have to force quit, just so that the displays don't crash, because it's kind of a nuisance. It's not like, because I can turn them back on again, but if it happens while I'm doing something important, it's really annoying. But it's been a whole host of just issues all over the place, just inconsistent, relating to NVIDIA drivers, and the most recent of which was the most recent Windows 10 drivers haven't been compatible with Windows 10. So let me just say that again so it sinks in. The Windows 10 NVIDIA drivers are not compatible with Windows 10. NVIDIA, what the fuck? You are drunk, go home. It's a mess. So I've had it up to here with NVIDIA. I'm going to go for the red team. I'm going to go AMD. I've never done that before in my life. It's kind of it's scary and exciting. I'm currently looking at the R9 390, some form of that, because there are no shortage of variations. There's an overclock version, there's an X, whatever the hell that is. I'll figure it out. But looking at benchmarks and reviews and people's real world tests and whatnot, it's a really nice card. It's cheaper than the big flagship NVIDIA cards, and in a lot of cases it goes toe to toe with them, and in some cases it actually beats them slightly. So I'm fairly confident in my decision, going with AMD in this case. Plus, I'm given to understand that AMD cards actually play nicer with Sony Vegas compared to NVIDIA cards, which is great, which means hopefully my whole video editing is going to run a hell of a lot smoother. But again, like I've said countless times through this video, that's jumping the gun. We'll get to that when we get to that. I might not even have to get a new computer. With any luck, it's just the power supply. But I'll know in a week. That's what I've been told. In about a week's time, they'll have a report for the insurance company, and I'll know exactly what's wrong with it, and what's going to happen moving forward. Okay, so I've seen some of you, or at least one of you, and people piling on, suggest a Kickstarter campaign to help me get a new computer. First, I'd like to say, if you guys are serious with that, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. That is so ridiculously generous and nice of you. Like, seriously, I really appreciate the thought. But I would like to encourage you not to go ahead with that. Because I wouldn't feel right taking your money. This is my problem. It's my responsibility. I'm going to deal with it. So thank you so much. But I'll deal with it. It's all right. Connected to that, there's something I've wanted to talk to you guys about for a while now, and that's the concept of starting a Patreon. If you're not aware what that is, it's like Kickstarter, but it's an ongoing monthly subscription to sort of, in my case, it would help fund the channel. You may have noticed other YouTubers, professional YouTubers, going this route. Some of them are really successful. Like, I think, is it Jim Sterling? I think it's him. He has a hugely successful Patreon campaign, and it looks like he probably makes the vast majority of his money from that. I've thought about going that route. Firstly, I don't think I'm big enough So it'd sort of be a waste of time. But more importantly, I don't feel comfortable with it. I would absolutely want to give you guys fair value in return for your pledge, especially considering it's monthly. And look, you could argue that, well, hey, you are doing that. You're providing, entertainment, but I still would feel uncomfortable about it. So there's part of me, the practical side of me, the side that's like, well, hey, you got to pay the bills and this and that. That side is like, yeah, man, Patreon. That's the way of the future. That's the way to go. But yeah, the rest of me is going, oh, I feel really weird, guys. I don't know about that. So I just I want you guys to know my stance on that. And even if I did go that route, I would absolutely have to like brainstorm with you and figure out some sort of, I don't know, just so that you get something for your investment, I guess. But yeah, in any case, even if I did do it, it's like I'd almost feel better if I launched the Patreon campaign and it failed, than if I launched it and just a handful of you pledged, but like it wasn't enough. I would feel like such a piece of shit in that case, if that makes sense, because it's like I would be so grateful for the people who had pledged. But yeah, I'd also feel really bad that it wasn't enough. I'm not sure I want to even go there and mess with that. But I just felt like it was an appropriate time to talk about that, off the back of the Kickstarter suggestions. So yeah, that's something I've been thinking about for a while. Moral of the story is, I don't think I'm going to be going ahead with that. But there you go. That's really all it is. I really want to keep this video short, but I've got a lot to talk about. But that should be fine. I'll leave it. I'll leave it there for now. So again, thank you for your support. It's actually been kind of crazy. It's probably completely coincidental, but since my computer died, I've actually gotten a huge intake of subscribers, like more than usual. Not like an explosion, but definitely more than usual. So if any new guys are watching this, thank you for joining me, and I'm really sorry that you've joined with the channel in its current state. Good news is, I'm taking this as, I'm going to take this hiatus. I'm going to use it to rethink some of the things on the channel and hopefully come back stronger, do a better job for you guys, and create more stuff that I am ultimately satisfied with. So it's actually, in that sense, it's really exciting. So, like when life gives you lemons, what do? You might be thinking make lemonade. You say, fuck the lemons and bail. When life gives you lemons, fuck the lemons and bail. You guys remember that. That's words to live by. Anyway, in the meantime, while I'm still sorting out what I'm going to be doing, I want to get some gameplay up for you in some form. But in the meantime, go check out my man Kluger. Link in the description. He's got some still cool stuff going at the moment. Grim Dawn, as usual, that's sort of his thing. He's the go-to guy for Grim Dawn. He's also got Dragon's Dogma going, which is pretty cool. So I suggest you go check him out. And the Roll for Perception crew, which I am also a part of, we do pen and paper roleplay over Skype. Do we use Skype? We don't use Skype, but you know what I mean. Similar principle. We're all little faces in squares on the screen and we roleplay, and it's up on YouTube. So I'll link to that as well. Once again, thank you for your continued support. Taste the game, be excellent to each other, and I will see you soonish. Roleplay Gamer, out.